Hey guys, it's Deanna here, and today we're making the Frisky panties, and I love this so much. And they have actually the option, three different options: high rise, mid rise, and low rise. I'm just making the low rise, but they all are made the same way, the same steps. But they also have the option to do ruching on the back, so I'm going to do that so you can see how to do it. And also they have the option of decorative lace. Elastic and regular elastic. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to do the decorative elastic on the waist, and I'm going to do the regular elastic on the legs. So you can do that with, you can do all of it with the regular elastic or all of it with the decorative elastic. It really is up to you. So I'm going to show you both. So that way you can have both ways of doing it. So you can do it all. So anyway, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my front piece. And I'm going to grab the bottom where the crotch area is. I'm going to put it face up, facing me. And then I'm going to grab the back piece and I'm going to put that crotch area face down right on top of it, like so. If you're doing the elastic on the ruching on the bottom, on the back, you want to go ahead and mark where your half is right here. I'm just going to do a little notch, real tiny little notch. So that way I know where it is, and then, or you can just pin it, and I'm going to go ahead and put that right there, my elastic, and I'm just going to kind of pin it, kind of so it will stay where it's supposed to. And then I'm going to grab my liner, and I'm going to put it face down on top of that whole thing. So there's 3 layers plus your elastic cut in between, so they're all sandwiched in there, okay? And I'm going to go ahead and pin it, and I am serging it. You can stretch stitch it or however you want to, but I'm going to go ahead and serge it, making sure that my elastic is caught in there as well. So if you want to leave a little tiny piece hanging out so you can see it going through, you feel welcome to do that. I'm going to go ahead and pin it again right here from the outside so it'll stay there. And I'm going to serge that together, the 3 layers, the liner, the back, and the front, and then the elastic as well, right there. Okay? So now I'll show you, and you'll be able to see that I've got my elastic right there in the middle. It's pinned, it's sewed on, and here's my front where my liner is right here, and here's my elastic to go in the back, and here's my front. Okay, so now next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead, if you want to, I'm not going to, but if you want to do serge edge on this liner, you can do so. Or if you wanted to fold down and top stitch, you can do so as well. I'm just going to leave it raw because of this material. I don't think I need to. But now I'm going to go ahead and meet the sides and sew these sides together. So I'm just pinning the sides. So I'm going to sew the sides of my panties together. And then another step that I want to go ahead and do right now is I'm going to grab where my liner is, and I'm going to meet it to my front. I'm going to put it together right now. And I'm going to make sure that my sides, and I'm going to baste it onto my sides. So that way, when I go to put my elastic, my liner and my panty is together. So you can go ahead and do a basting stitch all the way on the sides, attaching the liner to the panty, and then that will go away. You pull that out when we're done. So all I'm doing right now is pinning the liner to the front of the panty, and then I'm going to use a basting stitch and baste it on. So that way, when I go to put the elastic on the legs, I don't have to worry about it shifting on me. So that is the reason why I'm doing that. So I'm going to go ahead, and like I said, it's just a basting stitch. So I'm using just a basting stitch on there. I'll show you. It's attached to my to the front. My liner and my front panties are attached. So I'm going to baste stitch where the pins are. and then I'm gonna go ahead and serge my sides of my panties. So I'm gonna go ahead and do both of those things, and then we'll go back and we get ready to put the elastics on. Alright friends, I basted my edges of my liner and I sewed my sides of my panties. So now we're going to move on to the next step, which I am going to do is my ruching of my back. So I have my back elastic, and obviously that's I cut that one 2 inches shorter than the back piece, and that's what they tells you to do. So I'm going to go, first of all, I want to find where the middle is in the back. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And here it is. And I'll need that anyways for when I'm attaching the elastic. So I'm just going to make a notch right there. So I have it. And I'm going to pull my elastic all the way up to that spot right there. And I'm going to pin it. That's where I'm going to. And then I'm going to kind of tighten it a little bit. And I'm going to go ahead and pin it again, sort of in the middle. Okay. So then I'm going to go to my sewing machine, and with a zigzag stitch, I'm going to attach that elastic to my back. So I'm meeting it right there at the middle. It's a good thing I notched it, because as soon as I moved that pin, it just flew right out. So I want to put it right there where it is, and then I'm going to be pulling. I'm going to be. My sewing machine is trying to eat my panty. Sorry about that. Let me get that back on there. I don't know why. You know, that happens. Okay, start over. I'm going to put it under my sewing machine, and I have it set to a zigzag stitch, and I'm going to put it right there, and I'm going. So I'm going all the way down, stretching it lightly. So as it's going, it's doing the ruching effect, okay? That's why I pinned it in the middle, so I know where the middle is supposed to be. I'm going all the way down. Okay? And there it is. It's ruched on. It gives it that nice little ruching in the back that gives you that shape, that nice shape. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and attach the other elastic. And like I said, for the front, I'm doing, for the waist, I'm doing the pretty elastic. And then for the legs, I'm doing the regular elastic. So now with the elastic, what you got to do now is, I overlapped it. I didn't do it on this one yet, so I'll show you with this one. Overlap it 1/4 of an inch, right sides like this, to make a continuous circle, and with a zigzag stitch we're going to go ahead and sew those together. Back and forth. I just go back and forth a few times to make sure that it is attached and that it's not going to come apart for you. Okay? And so we'll start with a decorative elastic, and this is what you will do. First, you will mark your quarters. So I already know where my back is because I marked that for my ruching on the back. So I'm going to mark my front, and then I'm going to grab the front and the back, and there it is, the sides. So that's my sides. But on my legs, I'm going to do the whole thing. So let me go ahead and I can go ahead and quarter my legs now while we're at it. So again, this is my one side. I go out to the other side. This is where my seam is on my legs. And this is my crotch area. So I'm going to go ahead and pin that together where I notched it. That will be my half. So now I'm going to go ahead and meet those two halves together and go out to one side and pin. And then I'll go out to the other side and do the same thing. I already have my pin right there. Go ahead and pin it. Okay, so let's go ahead and do the waist first, since that's a decorative, and that goes, this is where it differs. Okay, with my pretty elastic, I will be attaching it. We'll start from the back. I will be attaching that wrong side together down. My pretty side, my little lacy side is gonna go facing down, and I'm pinning those edges, and I'm gonna show you in a minute what it's gonna look like on the outside of the panty. I'm gonna go ahead and, oh, I didn't quarter my elastic. I need to quarter my elastic so that it goes on there evenly. And I'll quarter all my elastics the same way. The same way I quarter my panties, down the middle, then the sides. Those are my quarters. You want to make sure that you quarter them so that they go evenly. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and pin it. The elastic face down. The pretty elastic face down. And then the raw edge meeting the raw part of the elastic. And I'm going to show you once I pin it. I'm going to show you what that looks like, because I know it sounds kind of confusing when I say it. And the reason why we do that is because once we're done putting it on, zigzag stitch it on, we're going to turn it and top stitch. Okay, so here it is. It's facing down. This is my pretty elastic at the bottom, and this is my raw edge at the top, because I'm going to zigzag it on, and then I'm going to flip it. And when I flip it and top stitch, you'll just see this little pretty elastic, the little pretty fancy part poking out. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. So I'm going to go ahead and zigzag stitch that on to my panty first, all the way around, okay? So if I'm doing the pretty elastic, I am going to zigzag stitch it right on top of my panty with the pretty design side facing down. Now, let me go ahead and put my other elastic on so I can show you how you're going to do that as well. So I can go ahead and do both of those things, and then we can come back and finish up, okay? So here's my other elastic, just my regular elastic, and I am doing the same thing, quartering it. So like I said, whatever elastic you're using, you're doing the same thing, except for the only difference is where you attach it to. The pretty elastic you attach on the outside. The other elastic, the regular elastic, remember we already quartered my panty? We're going to pin it on the inside. So we're pinning that on the inside of the panty, not on the outside, because we are going to encase that elastic. The other elastic we want to see because it's pretty. This elastic, not so much, so we're just going to encase it in there. And that is why we're going to pin it on the inside. And I'm going to show you that in just a minute, how that looks on the inside. I'm just pinning it to my quarter points that we found earlier. And if you see all these little threads everywhere, that's just my basting stitch. It looks a little bit of a mess because my sewing machine was giving me a hard time. So doesn't matter, I'm going to pull them out anyway, the basting stitches, so you won't be able to see them once the panty's done. But you see that? My other elastic I pinned on the inside, and I'm going to sew it on the inside because then I'm going to turn it and encase it so you won't be able to see it. So with the pretty elastic, you pin on the outside. The other elastic, you pin on the inside so you can encase it. Okay? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my zigzag stitch on my sewing machine, and I'm going to go slowly and sew that on, and it will end up looking just like this. This is my regular elastic. I already did one leg. You see it right there, zigzagged on. Okay, let me go ahead and do the other elastic, and then I'll come back and show you exactly what that looks like, and we'll go to the next step. All right, friends. So here's my decorative elastic sewn on. It's zigzag stitched on, so you can see it on the outside of my panties. And here's my regular elastic zigzagged on the inside of my panties. Okay? So now what we do, our last step, and we're almost done. They're looking so cute. They're almost done. Look at that ruching on the bum. It looks so cute, and they fit so great. I know I haven't tried these on, but I've already made like about 20 pairs. I'm not even joking. I've made so many. But anyway, so what we're going to do now is we're going to, for my regular elastic, we're just folding it right down, and we're going to pin it and top stitch to hide that elastic. So we're just encasing it. Now I already did it on this side. I did it with a cover stitch. So as you can see, it's already on there and it's hidden, so you can't even see it. So I did it on one side already. And for my pretty elastic, or you can just do top stitch it with zigzag stitch or a double needle, whatever you have. For my pretty elastic, here it is, we're going to fold it in just the same. See how it folds in like that? And then what you'll see is you'll see this pretty elastic poking out right there. So both of them, we're just turning them in like that, and you'll see that pretty elastic poking out. I'm gonna go ahead and show you. I'm gonna top stitch it right now in front of you guys, my pretty elastic, so you can see what that looks like when I'm done. And they really do look really cute. So that's exciting because I love pretty panties, but I know that they can get kind of expensive. And then I always have tons of scraps left over of my pretty fabric, and I never know what to do with them, and I'm like, you know, what do I do with it? I don't want to throw it away, so I end up saving it for no reason. Well, I'm so glad now, looking back, that I saved all my leftover fabric, because I have made so many panties from this, from all my leftover fabric, and it is so cool, matching my outfits. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. I'm just clipping all this extra. Okay, there it is. Whoop. There's the top. This one leg is done. This one right there is done. This one's not yet done, but I will be doing that in just a minute. But look at how cute they turned out and how quick they were. They were super quick. Now, like I said, if you want to do them all with decorative elastic all the way around, you can do that. If you want to do them all with just regular elastic, if that's all you have, you can do that. So that's awesome to see. And I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it looks easy enough. I hope you get the courage to sew some panties with me. You will not regret it. These are the best fitting panties I've bought in a long time. It's always so hard to find some that fit nicely, and these fit great. So give me a shout out. Let me know if you have any questions. Comment below. If you do sew some up, please post them on our Facebook page or our Instagram. We'd love to see them. If you're not yet subscribed to our channel, go subscribe so you don't ever miss a sew along. If you're not part of our Facebook community, come join us on our Facebook Ellie and Mac Facebook community, because we have lots of interactive sew alongs going on over there with prizes and all kinds of stuff. So we'd love to see you there. But thank you for joining me, and I hope to see you again next time. Bye.